Hi guys. So, can you breastfeed or produce milk for an adopted baby? That's what I thought we would talk about today. So I'm just going to get right into it. I am going to make sure that there are some links below that discuss about breastfeeding and adoption, as well as milk sharing, because those are going to be kind of the two topics that we're going to talk about. The first thing that I want to talk about is just answering that question. Is it possible to produce milk and breastfeed an adopted baby? And of course, the answer is yes. Some moms have never been pregnant before, and the only difference between a mom who has been pregnant before and a mom who hasn't been pregnant before, it's not about whether or not she's breastfed before, but just being pregnant before. Is that if you've been pregnant before, you may be able to produce a full supply, whereas a mom who has not ever been pregnant before may not be able to produce a full supply. She may only be able to partially breastfeed and then have to supplement. So it is definitely possible. And for a mom who's, either case, I would speak with a IBCLC, a lactation specialist, and get kind of like guidance and support from them on your journey, however, you plan on going forward. Some moms plan on pumping and taking a medication that increases milk supply. Some moms plan on just strictly pumping. With a mom who's never been pregnant before, she may have to take something to help with the hormones in producing milk supply. But again, all that needs to be discussed with an IBCLC and, of course, your doctor as well. So if you are planning on adopting and you would like to breastfeed, definitely you have that possibility and that option. And again, I will post some information below that you can kind of like look into it and read some information more about it. Now, let's say you want to feed your baby breast milk, but you can't or do not want to produce the milk yourself. This is possible. Now, the reason I want to talk about it is the subject of milk sharing. And milk sharing is when you share or you use the milk of someone, maybe it's a friend, a family member, or through social media or some other form where you acquire the milk. And this is not usually done through a milk donation bank or a milk bank. And there's a big controversy about it. And until they come out with a strict, yay or nay type of thing, steering clear of milk sharing would be the safest option. If you choose to milk share or you choose to use breast milk from a family member or a friend, a lot of it is because you just feel like, you trust them, their life, where they've been, that kind of thing. It's still good to take the precautionary measure of having the milk tested and approved through a milk bank. It's a little bit of a process, but it can be done. And there are moms on YouTube who have done it before. A couple of moms on YouTube who have went through the process and donated their milk to a friend. So maybe if I get a chance, I can put the link of a YouTube channel of a mom who has done it, and maybe you can look at her very past I think it was over 6 years ago, of when she went through the process of donating her milk to someone. And like I said, it's just safer because infectious disease can be passed. That way, you just want to take those extra measures. We don't always know. In some cases, we may absolutely know that this mother is safe, but we don't know. You just never know. You never know what could be going on and what could happen. And so you want to take that extra measure of safety for your baby. So I don't recommend milk sharing without, that precautionary measure. People will say, well, we have wet nurses, we have family members who breastfeed for their sister because of this or that. Maybe they're babysitting and they just breastfeed. And all of that is true. But now that we have the ability to, check the milk and make sure it's safe before we give it to another baby, that's what the best, safest way, because there are risks. If you choose to do it, with a family, and I'm not judging, whatever mom decides to do, that is her right. But this is just information that I'm putting out as a certified lactation counselor. It's important to let moms know that. You do not want to go on social media. You don't want to trust just anybody. And you may feel like you know someone, but going through the step of a donation bank is just that, just what it's a precautionary measure, and it protects you and it protects the baby. So if you choose not to do so, it's just important to know the risks and to be careful of, just trusting anyone and getting your milk from anywhere. Because some people want to sell their milk for money, and they can come off as someone who's perfectly healthy. You may say they're healthy and all that, but you just never know. It could be a past partner who passed something that the mom doesn't even know she has yet, or whatever. There's just risks there. You can pass HPV, a lot of infectious diseases. So again, the precautionary measure of getting your milk, getting your friends, whoever, getting the milk tested and approved through donation bank is the best route to go. That being said, sometimes it's more expensive, but usually if you get a family member or a friend that goes through the process, I believe there's ways that they can test it and approve it and say that it's safe, and then those moms have a right to give you their milk without charging you. So look into it. Be informed. That's all I would say, is just be informed. And any choice you make in life, it's always good to be informed, to make an educated decision. And whatever your decision, that's your right, of course, and nobody has a right to judge you. But just as a specialist, and it being my job, I have to mention the risks and the precautions. So I hope that answers a very simple question. It's not a long video, because it is definitely possible to breastfeed, although you've maybe never been pregnant, or maybe you've just never breastfed before and you're adopting and you would like to try it. Whatever the situation, it is possible. Again, it's just a matter of whether or not you have a full supply or a partial supply. But honestly, every little bit counts. Every ounce counts. That's what the saying that we use. Every ounce counts. It's liquid gold, so it counts. It's all good. So whatever you can do, you should be proud. And if you can't use breast milk, that's okay too. All that matters is that our babies get fed. Yes, breast milk has its pros, and definitely it's the best choice, but not all moms have that option. So that's my video for today, and I hope that you guys enjoy it, and I will see you again in my next video. You have a great night.